I'm going to talk a little bit more about Aaron Rodgers, and then I'll be, I think, pretty much done with it unless it takes a different sort of turn. I know not everybody's interested in this story, but to me it is relevant even if you're not a sports ball fan. This is something that should interest and concern you because if I am right, if I'm right in the conclusions that I came to last time, which again, I don't have, my conclusions are just based on the the available evidence as I interpret it. I don't have anything like smoking gun proof. How could I? I'm just some schmuck, out here talking to a limited audience of people, in my crappy car. But here's the thing that I think here's the mindset I think that we have to eliminate, or we have to understand that it's short-sighted, and that is there are people out there who tend to view the principalities, powers, thrones, and dominions as being only interested in the almighty dollar, right? The only thing that interests them, goes this mindset, is making a buck. And there's plenty out there, there are plenty of, there's plenty of money gouging that goes on. That's for sure. They're interested in money. They like money, and they've got a lot of it, and they want more. But is money the only thing that motivates them? I say no. There are some things that the principalities, powers, thrones, and dominions believe in. And when I say they believe in it, I don't mean the kind of beliefs that you or I would hold to be wholesome beliefs, but they're nevertheless the beliefs that these people, these entities, these whatever we want to call them, sincerely hold. Now, think of it this way: if it was just about money, if the NFL, let's just take the NFL, the entity that is the multi-level conglomerate, the global conglomerate, there's games that are broadcast all over the world. They have games in London and Paris and other places now, I think. I know London, and it seems like they've been in other places too. So, the NFL is a global and a globalist entity. Let's not fool ourselves about it. It's big money, big business. It's the same. They're playing the same corporate game as all the other mega conglomerates that we know and so love. And if the NFL were exclusively interested in money, then they would want Aaron Rodgers to be out there. They would want him to be playing this all through this season, because their ratings go up, their profits go up. More people are interested in watching the New York Jets, helmed by Aaron Rodgers, trying to make a comeback with a new team. That's a very intriguing storyline. He's a superstar in the league for many years. If it was all about money, then they would make sure that storyline would play itself out. Now, I know there's some people out there who are like, there are some who interpreted the fact that this mysterious person on Twitter who went under the name David Zaslav, at Daddy Zaslav, David Zaslav being the CEO of Warner Brothers, very powerful man, one of the powerful men who run the powerful entities out there. right? He's a big and powerful type of man, just like you could throw off some other names, just like whoever owns Disney is now. I can't think of his name right now, but Zaslav is as much of a power broker as the owner of Disney, as the owner of CBS, as the owner of whatever. So if these people, if anybody was in the know, it would be somebody like David Zaslav. So there are three possible ways to interpret the fact that Zaslav tweeted that that Aaron Rodgers was going to go down, and that 2 hours later he did go down with the ACL injury that was predicted in that very same tweet from David Zaslav, the supposed parody account that immediately got scrubbed from Twitter X after the prophecy came true, after the prognostication proved to be correct. The one way to interpret that is to say, well, it doesn't matter. It's just a coincidence. All right, and if you want to believe that, knock yourself out. To me, it seems implausible. The second way, that this is something that I became aware of. The second way of interpreting it is to think that this is an indication that football is rigged, or that sports in general are rigged. And I'm not, I'm not like poo-pooing the idea that sports might often be rigged. The Black Sox scandal of 1919 was something that was proven to be rigged. That was one thing, one major event where rigging happened, and there have been other scandals involving like NBA referees who were intentionally calling games for one team or the other, and that kind of stuff does go on. But it seems that some interpreted this prognostication from this mysterious Twitter user as an indication that football was rigged. That the storyline was that the NFL was going to have Aaron Rodgers go out in the first game of the year, in the first series of plays, the third or fourth play from scrimmage. That was the idea. I guess you could believe that, but again, to me, that's strange credulity, because why would they script that? If it's about scripting the most dramatic, kinds of events possible, then if I'm the script writer, I would much rather have Aaron Rodgers do really well and get a lot of attention and a lot of acclaim with the New York Jets, who have been perennially bad. And so you have this that would be a very compelling story. To have him go down in the very first game, there's nothing to be gained from that, from a rigging perspective. So the third possibility is the one that I expressed my belief in yesterday, was that this was, it was a intentional hit job. It was called because they always call it. They always say what they're about to do before they do it. That's part of how they operate. Revelation of the method, whatever you want to call it. I think there are some other names for it as well. And to me, this way of interpreting events, which is the one that I think is the most plausible, it's the one that I think is the most parsimonious, to use a good vocabulary word, based on events. And I wouldn't be saying all this if it weren't for that tweet. If it were just him going down, in the first series of plays in the first game of the year on Monday Night Football on September 11th in New York, all these things, I would think it was interesting, and I would wonder about it. But the tweet really kind of pushes it over the line for me. So anyhow, what this shows is that for some people, even, especially, people who are very rich and very powerful, there are some things that are more important than money. And one of those things is indulging their extreme vindictiveness towards people who show them up, which is what Aaron Rodgers did. He showed up the league by vocally expressing his refusal to do this procedure that he very much disagreed with, and he stuck to his guns. And he was he was outspoken, and he faced them down, and he emerged, popular and victorious. Popular with some. Again, he's a sort of a controversial or divisive figure. Some people don't like him. Some people didn't like the fact that he was against the injection. But for a lot of people, he became a folk hero, and he gained a lot of support from a lot of people, myself included. Before that, I knew he was a great quarterback, but I really admired him after that. So these are people who don't like to be shown up. They don't like it when their orders aren't followed. They don't like it when we don't bow and scrape before them. And especially when you're somebody big, when you're somebody who's, a force to be reckoned with, when you're somebody with clout, then it becomes all the more egregious. Whereas, somebody like me out here thumbing my nose at them, they just think, who's this ugly bald guy sitting in his car? But when it's Aaron Rodgers, then that's quite a different thing. So I think what this shows, again, what this confirms, and there are plenty of other instances that could also indicate the same thing. What this shows is that the powers that be, the principalities, powers, thrones and dominions, the deep state, whatever you want to call this group, the evil people who run the show, they are extremely vindictive. And in this case, I believe they called a hit on the guy. I think that's, again, you call me what you will for saying that, but I think that is a that is not a crazy interpretation of events given everything. So there you go. And I just wanted to sort of underline that fact. And I won't be going on and on about this subject unless there's a new wrinkle to it or something. But I think I've said what I've had to say about it now. So don't worry. I'll be moving on to other stuff. So, but I do think this was an important thing to just add. So thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are below.